Rev up your engines for the Mid-Michigan Biker Podcast with Big E. Proudly sponsored by Christensen Law, where bikers helping engine bikers is more than just a motto. It's our commitment to the biker community. Be sure to tune in and listen to the latest news and biker buzz. And for all your personal injury needs, be sure to contact the Christensen Law team at 248-900-9000. What's up, bikers? It's Big E, and you're listening to the Mid-Michigan Biker Podcast. We're talking all things bikes, the freedom of the road, and the brotherhood that makes this lifestyle what it is. From killer tips to wild stories from the highway, we've got it all right here. Life is short, bikers, so let's get after it. Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. So this week, this is going to be way cool. This week we're going to talk to Marissa Collins, and she is one of the builders in the Wyld Stallions motorcycle build-off. And she is also has the distinction of being our first female builder interview. She's not the only one, but she's the first one. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
So we chatted a quick minute while we were waiting for my computers to boot up, and you're getting right into it already. I saw some pictures, some handlebars and stuff that you were doing.
Yeah. Went to a couple shows, swap meets. Took my little guy, to the swap meet with me. He had a fantastic time, and he had to get his own leather cut, and like everybody else, and found some handlebars.
That's cool. So the project is shaping up.
It is. I just did the frame, so converting my 79 Ironhead Sporty into a hardtail, because I'm really a big fan of the chopper bobber look.
Right.
And I want to make it look very simplistic and minimalistic.
All right. So we're going to get right into the 10 questions that I'm asking all the builders to see what you have to say. And we may squirrel because sometimes we do that on this. All right. So what is your initial vision for your build, and how do you see it evolving?
I have had many ideas for my build. Luckily, one of the other builders was like, figure it out, stick to it. So now I'm currently, I'm wanting to rock the super simplistic, very empty bars, that fur seat metallic look for the bike. Yeah.
Cool. So what inspired your theme or style for this year's bike?
I was looking through like 70s and 80s style choppers, and I grew up watching West Coast Choppers.
Yeah.
And they were all very like extravagant and wild, out of this dimension, like ideas. And I think they all had a lot going on of them, like Pimp My Ride style bikes. And I like the minimal aspect. I don't want a bunch of stuff on the handlebars. I don't need a speedometer or odometer,
Right.
anything like that.
Clean.
Yeah, super clean, like the least amount of things possible to be able to run.
Right. So
it's also less wiring for me to do.
So. That is a good point. What is the first part of the build that you're focusing on and why?
Oh, the frame. I was really nervous about cutting the frame and being able to fit everything back into it. Making sure it's the right color. I've looked at different paints, different themes. I decided to go with Cerakote for it.
Mm.
And I've been talking about powder coating, painting, and I took a paint class, but I really want to Cerakote the frame.
Cool.
Yeah.
So how did you approach planning and sketching out your ideas before the build? Did you sit down with a sketch pad or did you just dream it up?
Yeah, I dreamt it up. I looked at inspiration for choppers and bobbers and looked at what other people have built and, kind of came to the conclusion, like, I don't want mine to really be like anybody else's. I want, somebody to see my bike and be like, oh, that's Marissa's. I did sit down. I have a list of things that I want to do to it, things that I need to buy to do that to it, parts lists. I sketched up my shift linkage and decided I'm going with a suicide shifter just because it looks dope.
Yeah.
And because I want the, handlebars to not have anything on them. So
right.
Like, suicide shift linkage sounds cool. I like it.
Pretty badass.
Hopefully it turns out.
So, do you have any specific materials or techniques you're excited to experiment with?
Well, I will be painting my tank myself. And I did buy lace to do that.
Oh.
And I've been practicing with an airbrush tool. I'm usually like big air gun in a paint booth,
Right.
And I have an airbrush tool. I'm trying to figure out consistency, type of paint that I want to use, how durable it's going to be, what color it needs to be. And I have my old tank that I'm practicing on. So I can have the beautiful, deep, dark colors,
right.
Kind of gothic.
Cool. So all the builders are doing, kind of unique things. And I'm just like totally geeked to see these bikes.
You know what? I'm really excited to see them too. And I'm excited to see mine. I didn't even sign up to win. Really, I bought the bike on a whim. I was on Facebook Marketplace and I was like, that's cool. I want to do that. And, I've never built a bike before.
I was going to ask you.
I'm a car mechanic. And I saw like a week later, because, your phone's listening,
right?
That there was a bike build off. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And so I decided to do it and challenge myself. I bought both the manuals. I've been Googling, YouTubing, everything.
So are you
figuring it out on I go?
Are you a rider?
I am. I have an 03 Sportster Custom.
Okay.
Yeah. It's my first Harley. I learned how to ride in, I want to say 2014.
Okay.
Yeah. End of 2014 is when I took my class, and I had a Vulcan 900, which was a big bike for me to ride on.
Yeah. You're not a very big person, looking at the pictures.
No, I'm like 5'6", 150 pounds.
Yeah.
Like that was a big bike. And then I went to a Ninja 250.
Oh, wow.
And, that was a tiny little bike.
Yeah.
And then I went to BFR 800, the Police Interceptor.
Okay.
And that was a big sports bike, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, the sport bikes like that, they just look like for me, it doesn't look like it would be a comfortable ride. It's just not my thing. I have buddies that have them, and I mean, they're way, way fast, but
That's what I liked about it.
Yeah. Got a little speed
Now
addiction,
that
do
I
you?
have, yeah, I do. That's why my nickname is Wet Shot, because
Oh,
one, I'm a mechanic, and two, like I'm like a bottle of NOS. I want to go, go, go.
go, go, go.
So I have a slow bike and I won't do anything to it because I know that I'll get pulled over going like 150 somewhere.
Right. Yeah, I try to avoid like fast cars because I just know me and it would be bad. And I drive for a
Yeah.
living, so yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah. Can't have tickets. So my job requires me to have a license.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's how I make my money. So I kind of need to be good.
Yep.
All right. So, what is one feature or concept you're determined to include in your final design?
Mm, I think that since I've decided on the suicide shifter, that is really
That has to be there.
one thing I have to solidify that. It just looks, I love it. I love the look of it. It's dope. Like,
Yeah, I
old school.
I see a bike with a suicide shift, and I'm just like, oh man, that is badass. I really
That's how I
dig that
feel.
look. Yeah, I really dig that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how do you prioritize functionality versus aesthetics at this early stage?
Um, the functionality aspect of it, since I'm going so minimalistic, I don't really have to worry too much about it. The oil can is going to be super small. I got to fit it in the new frame.
Right.
The old one was pretty massive. So either I find something and turning into an oil can that will fit in the frame.
Right.
The lights, I'm probably it's just gonna be an illegal bike. It's not gonna be. I don't want turn signals on it. I'm probably not gonna put a tag on it. I hope there's no cops listening, but don't pull me over. It, like I said, minimalistic. So the functionality of it is definitely not street legal, but it's going to be a looker for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. So this is your first build, so obviously you don't have anything to draw on from your past builds.
Right.
So I can't really ask you that question. So you said you had been looking at other people's builds, and you kind of drew some ideas from there. Does anything in particular stick out, or you just got a bunch of little ideas, or?
Yeah. So, at first I was going to do a coffin tank, and I saw that like there was a lot of coffin tanks, and, that is the theme of, a chopper build is when people think of chopper, it's a coffin tank. And I'm just doing a big bubbly one.
Right.
Because I really want to like express art on it. The colors, the metal work, I'd love to be able to do a lot more of my own metal work. My shop doesn't have what I need to do so.
Right.
And, I don't have the experience with it currently. In the future, I definitely plan on like bending my own metal, trying to make my own forks, doing all that stuff like the other guys are doing. I'm not at their level yet. But that's like future hopes. But yeah, just like they're very clean. Like Chris's king seat, Chris Watt, his king seat last year with the fur on it. I was just like, that is magnificent,
Right.
And, I'm not doing a king seat, but I was like, gotta go with the fur seat. I love that.
You love that look. Yeah, that's cool.
I do.
All right. So what's the most exciting part of starting a new build?
The teardown.
The teardown?
Yeah, I think it was just like so cool disassembling it, and I'm going to swear a lot when I'm trying to put it back together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where does this go? Why is this here? Did I put that on first? Did I take that off first? I took a lot of pictures on the disassembly, but my garage had pieces and bolts, and I'm not going to use that anymore. Tools were everywhere. It was the most disorganized I was as a mechanic. I was very ashamed.
Yeah.
But it was exciting. Yeah. The teardown was.
So the teardown, I think you're the first person that has said that is the most exciting part of it.
I mean, I guess it's probably because like this is my first time doing it. So like having to do the first step and actually, getting to the frame even and getting everything taken apart and, not breaking anything.
Right.
I was just super stoked about it.
See, I could totally tear some shit apart, but putting it back together, I might be screwed.
Yeah, you know what? That's what pictures are for.
Yeah,
There are
yeah.
plenty of
I
pictures. I
have
got the
learned that
climber
now.
manual. Yeah. And
I,
Harley, actually, I learned from a rider that I follow. He's a stunt rider, and he had mentioned that the Harley manuals, if you go on the Harley Davidson website, you can actually look back to the year of the bike, and there's like parts lists and everything in there. And I'm like, that's like amazing knowledge for me.
yeah, there's also a Facebook group, a Facebook group page where you can go and look up the year of your bike and find the manuals and find all the part numbers. And yeah, it has helped me in the past.
Yeah,
Looking
that's
for
what I'll be
stuff.
doing. Research.
Yeah. So
And I think
that's
the
cool.
brake conversion is going to be a little bit difficult because now that that rear arm is a little longer, and
Oh yeah.
the chain's got to be different. I'm putting a rear brake on that's caliper instead of drum, and got to mount that and do all the measurements. And I'm just like, okay, well, you can figure this out.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't even think about all that. If you're going to convert all that to disc, and because what did you start out with? Oh,
Well, it was a soft tail.
a soft tail,
So yeah, and it had a drum in it. And
right?
that thing was like, I was like, man, I'm so glad I'm getting rid of this because I don't even touch drum brakes. As a technician, I have barely ever touched drum brakes.
Right.
A couple times, especially working in a dealership.
Well, I mean,
And
they're pretty much obsolete now, aren't they?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I have a '01 Dodge Ram that still has drums in the back, but man, I don't know.
You have an '01 Mustang GT, it's calipers on front and back.
Yeah, I know they make a
Yeah.
conversion kit to put calipers on the back of the Ram too, but I haven't done it.
Yeah, they're just a pain in the rear.
Yeah, most of the times they rust up and don't work anyways. It seems like.
Exactly. Who wants to mess with those springs in there and
Yeah,
adjust them and make sure the pads aren't riding the drum? It's just silly.
yeah. Anyways, all right. So, what do you think about the time frame? Do you think that they give you enough time to build this bike? Do you think you'll have it done? Are you worried about that at all?
I'm not. Now that it's warm out,
Yeah.
I do not work well in the cold. My little tootsies and my fingers, they get cold real quick. And once I lose dexterity, I don't want to be anywhere near anything that's cold. So
Right.
now that the warmer weather is coming up, and I'll have a little bit more free time with the semester ending because I'm enrolled in school right now.
So you're working a
I'm gonna
job
have.
full time, I'm assuming.
I was. I enrolled back full time into school in January.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So you're in school full time and you're doing the bike build.
Yep. Which is not hard.
No?
I have a lot of free time. Yeah. I have to do the engine tear down, and I'm trying to see what I need out of the engine, what needs to be replaced, and I got to soak it in some Mystique fluid and tear that down, see what's good, what's not. I'm definitely going to need some new valves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know way more about it than I do, apparently. There was talk of me doing the build off next year, and I think it's just talk.
Gotta do it.
Yeah, yeah. It would be cool to do. Don't get me wrong; it would be fun. I'm sort of mechanically inclined, but a lot of that knowledge I don't have. I mean, I can run a wrench and all that stuff, but I used to spend summers in my dad's transmission shop, so I have turned wrenches a little bit.
Transmissions are a whole different beast.
Yeah, now they're way different than they were even back then. Now they're all electronic and
solenoids and valves and pressures and all that. Yeah,
way more high
fun.
tech now than they were then.
Yeah, the CVTs are no joke either.
Yeah. All right, so you are the. I can't even say you're the only one because I know there's at least one more female builder.
Mm-hmm.
Now I also know that there's a group chat.
Yep.
Do the girls get any heat from the guys or?
No, actually, you know what? This has been such a wonderful experience. Everybody's been so helpful, willing to help me if I have questions, and we pick on each other a little bit and send each other pictures of what we're doing, and
cool.
It's exciting. Like I don't feel like if I were lost or stuck, I couldn't reach out and be like, this is where I'm at. I hate it. What am I doing? and one of them wouldn't just like call me up and be like, all right, let's walk through this.
Right.
100%. It's been awesome.
That's cool. Yeah. Cause it seems like most of you guys know each other.
No, I've never met any of them.
You've never met any of them?
We went to a couple swap meets and I've met them in person.
Yeah.
There. Yep. I didn't know any of them prior to this. So it was just like a whole new community, and they're all kind of different people.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the biker community. A lot of people come from different walks of life, but we all share that same common bond, and look how that is. I got to imagine that the bike building community is probably pretty similar to that, because you carry that over the biker part of you over to the builder part, and
I just want to ride.
Yeah.
I want to ride a cool bike.
Right. So you planning on keeping just this bike, or?
Yeah, my first build I'm definitely going to keep. Yeah, and both my kids are really excited about it. My youngest has sat out in the garage with me,
right,
eating his snacks while I'm explaining what I'm doing or taking something apart. And the older one is gonna probably learn how to ride too. So
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, and he's in automotive as well. So he's in second year auto in high school.
Oh, nice.
And next year he starts like college, and he's going into automotive too. So
very cool. So he'll probably follow right in your footsteps. Yeah. That's awesome. All right. Well, I thank you for taking some time out and talking with us on the podcast this week. And I'm excited to see your bike.
Me too.
I want to see the paint job.
Me too. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I hope that it comes together and it is like what I'm picturing and what I'm imagining.
I'm sure it will. I got faith in you. You're gonna show the boys up.
I hope so. I'd just like to come up and show up and it run.
Yeah. I think you have determination, and I think that's going to carry through. You sound like
hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty determined. If you say you probably shouldn't do that, I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it.
I was that kid that was like, don't touch it. It's wet. I'm going to see how wet it is.
Right. And if people wanted to follow along with you, what is because you're on Instagram, right?
I am on Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, you're on Facebook too? I couldn't find you on Facebook. That's why I messaged you on Instagram.
I have a secret name on Facebook.
See, somebody else that I talked to has a alter ego as well.
Yeah.
That's cool. But if they wanted to follow you on Instagram, what do they look for? It's
Rissa Pineapples is my Instagram.
Yep.
And Rissa MF Jones on Facebook.
Oh.
It was one of the nicknames I got in the Army, and it's just stayed.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
And I wanted to say thank you for your service.
Thank you.
So, we definitely support our veterans. So
yeah, this community is huge for veterans. I noticed that.
Yep.
It's lovely to be part of.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All righty, Rissa. Thank you for taking some time out and chatting with us. Good luck on the build. I'm excited to see it. I will be there in August. I don't know if that means
Well, I look
anything.
forward to your vote.
Oh, yeah, I do have to vote.
You do.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, thank you
Yep.
for having me.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
We'll talk to you. Bye. There you go. Marissa Collins, one of the female builders for the Wyld Stallions motorcycle build off. Yeah. And I'm excited to see. She's going to do some cool paint with lace. That's going to be pretty awesome. Pretty excited to see all the bikes. I have a couple more builders to talk to yet in this series, so stay tuned, keep following along, and remember, life is short, bikers, so get after it. Thanks for listening to the Mid-Michigan Biker Podcast. Remember, bikers, life is short. Get after it.